this at home.
This year, you may have seen the public TV telecast of the 10-year lunch, the wit and legend of the Algonquin Round Table, which recreated the Sharp Pond musings.
Welcome to Destination Washington, an exciting week of extravaganza and fun-filled
activities
voyage to the greater Northwest. We have an itinerary full of action-packed adventure by our hostess Sissy, and we have our books to follow us as a guide to the beauty and the majesty of Seattle. And we're going to be leaving shortly for the International House of Pancakes to meet with NIMBY. NIMBY? Mimsy. And then from there we're going to go see the Chinese exhibit of what? Son of Heaven. And we're going to invite you to join us on this thrilling, fun-packed, action-packed day.
What about future events?
Should we run down the itinerary real quickly? Today, Sunday morning, August 7th. Breakfast at Pancake House. Tour of Son of Heaven art exhibit. This afternoon we'll take you on the Space Needle, to Pioneer Square, the Pike Market, the monorail ride, something underground.
The underground.
Oh, is that Pioneer Square underground? Oh, and then the Blue Angels at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow we'll begin the day at the waterfront in a trolley car to the aquarium and Omni for a movie. We'll go to the Ballard Locks to see these salmon in their journey home to the motherland. We'll have cocktails at Ray's Boat. Who's Ray?
Ray's Boathouse.
Oh, Ray's Boathouse. Then a barbecue at Mary Ann's on Monday night. Tuesday morning we'll take Tuesday's change will be in downtown Seattle. And then we'll be leaving at 3:30 for the ferry ride up to Victoria and the island. And we'll spend the overnight in Victoria. And then take a ferry over to Vancouver and drive back to Seattle Wednesday evening. Thursday, the fun begins with we leave very early for Mount Rainier, and we'll check in the afternoon into the Paradise Lounge, and we'll go see the reflecting lake, and I'm going to climb to the top of Mount Rainier. Friday, we drive to Mount St. Helens, and we sightsee drive through Oregon, and we stay overnight down at the coast of Oregon. And Saturday, we breakfast with Uncle Bart, drive to Portland, visit Grandma. Saturday evening's a wedding. Sunday morning, probably head right over to Mount Hood and climb to the summit of Mount Hood. And then we'll be back Sunday evening for our return voyage Monday morning at 1:30 a.m. to Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport at flight 150 and arrive back home at 6:30 a.m. on August 15th. So join us for this fun, action-packed, thrilling week of activity and fun. And since he's gotten already sick of it, so this may be kind of a short video.
There's the beautiful hostess.
Please, Sissy. Maybe we should show. Well, before we go, we'll tour her apartment and get her to explain every one of her little details, like this fine craftsmanship of this Chinese. What are these things called? Huh?
I don't know. They're little,
Well, we'll find out when we're down at the Chinese Son of Angels exhibit.
no, Son of Heaven.
Look at the detail. Look at the incredible detail. Can you get that?
And it gets blurry if I get too close.
Okay. You on autofocus?
Yeah, there's
Some of that
maps.
stuff, if you got to get that close, you can get into the
Would you
manual.
like some of this, Grady?
I'm going to buy one right down there.
Don't worry.
Got the Son of Angels.
So it's Son of Heaven and you can't find them there. But I can pick you back. This is a 13th century coin piece.
See, why don't we take a tour? Is it really a coin piece? Not upsetting. We're standing in front of the world famous dancing fountain. It was a famous fountain that was built in 1962, we think, when the World's Fair was here in Seattle. And it was timed to the music, and you can see that it's dry now, but you can see how the dancing fountain. Over to the left is the famous home of Seattle Supersonics. Today houses a dog show. We may run over there and take a look. We've got a little bit of time before the Son of Heaven exhibit starts. The flags had housed the flags of all the nations of the world back at the World's Fair. And they're still represented today. Unfortunately, the sun is right above the Space Needle at this point, so and rather than damaging the camera, we're not going to take a chance on getting a shot of that. People all excited with their dogs and animals. Big dog show. In front of the world-famous Seattle Space Needle, considered by many to be the 8th wonder of the world. This giant edifice, this beautiful structure was built for the Seattle World's Fair. I'm going to walk up to the top of the stairs here.
Yeah.
This main central unit. There goes something looks like kind of like you're going up.
Counterweights.
Counterweight pulleys. Should be having something shortly. Bring it up to through here. Engineering miracle. This beautiful structure. Man's ingenuity. I'm going to come down, see it?
Yeah.
See the counterweights and the pulleys. Oh. Get a shot of this. Listening to music furnished by Herr Wagner and his 6-piece orchestra. Watching the dancing fountain. The lovely dancing fountain here at the World's Fairgrounds in Seattle, Washington. Day 1 of the journey to the north. Let me show you the present I bought at the Son of Heaven art exhibit. Take a look at this.
Huh?
Take a look at this.
Over here.
You Son of Heaven. We just attended the Son of Heaven Imperial Arts of China exhibit. %of the items shown in that exhibit was shown for the first time to Westerners. And we got to see it.
Get that sign, Public Market.
I'm not sure.
Oh, the skyline. Skyline is nice too. And then maybe a little bit of the restaurant up there with the flowers.
I think we missed them.
Get there, right up there. See, look, right by that
Yeah.
building. Okay, they're going into formation.
You got it zoomed in on them?
Yeah, we are.
Let's see if they're behind the building, so keep your eye on the
Where
building.
am I supposed to go?
Can't you see where that building
Yeah,
is?
I saw it.
Okay, they're coming. Here they come.
Got them?
Yeah.
They're taking off from Boeing Field. They're coming this way. Oh my God, what a shot. Look, can you see them? You got them?
This is how I put a blue agent going. It's very much blue.
95%. That takes about 20. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Oh, there's the turquoise.
This is our radar. One of our radars. We've got two radars. Okay. These are navigation. This is close in. That's us. That there, that line sticking out of that circle, that's the front of our ship. You can almost see how it's a little bit of black in between there. That's those two arms sticking out. Okay. This is the pier you walked on to get here. And this is the street, and that's the next pier up. After there's a ship driving through here right now, on a boat, you can see them. We'll find them all. It's kind of range out there last year. There, got a bunch of little ships out here. Got a couple of ferry. See if we can find the ferry. There's one there. There's the ferry. That big one right there is that ferry that's just about to pull in there. Okay, big one. And we got a bunch of other little boats here. This is just used for to help us when we're pulling in somewhere. We can see everything. We don't run over anybody water skiing. We've also got another radar here. It's used for long range. You can see ships out to 60 miles. This one's good for about 20 miles. And it's most effective at 5 miles and less. We really use it. Sometimes these little ones see them come in here. They'll come in and just play around us and see how real close this is.
Is it everything in the water, or did that? Use a big cargo thing.
I don't know.
Down here to get the how long it is. Coming over here. Here we go. He's getting going.
Oh, I'm sorry. Cranky pushed me right. I'm sorry. Here, you know it.
What do you want to get?
I don't know. He was right.
It is now Monday, August 8th, day 2 of the fantastic voyage. You are seeing Port of Call, Seattle, in a Navy cruiser that we almost toured last night. Is now setting sail for top secret destination. We're about ready to embark on a trip to either the aquarium or the science museum. Day 2. Sissy, where is the aquarium? Down by the wharf?
The boys aren't here. They're sightseeing. And I wanted to get a picture of this ship. But I don't know what I'm doing with this camera.
We are about to embark for the famous Ballard Locks, where the great red northwest salmon will be returning to the motherland through a series of complicated and
Sometimes dangerous.
locking system. We'd like you to join us. We will then be heading to Ray's for a couple cocktails, and then on to Marianne's for your dining and dinner pleasure. And you're invited along to join us on day 2 of this exciting extravaganza through the Great Northwest. Okay? Day 2 began this morning with our scrumptious Sweet 16 breakfast at the International House of Pancakes. Get Sissy's shirt. Let's get that, just get the shirt. We won't get your face. Just tell Leon he's not going to get your face. You don't have to worry about you throwing up Charlie, but don't get too close. It's coming in pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We started at the International House of Pancakes, and then we moved on to the Seattle Science Center, where we saw an interesting dinosaur display and watched a planetarium show on the planet Mars, which, by the way, in 1988 will be its closest approach and its best viewing from the planet Earth for now, between now and the year 2033.
Who cares?
And Neil had his, they put a little overhead above and asked it to draw it. Mm-hmm. And they put his up on the screen so everybody saw it.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Because he was drawing so well?
No, they just asked for something to put up. You could hardly see his, and he drew us a light. But it was fun. What else did we see down there? Do you have it on?
Yeah.
What else did we see down there?
Animals. The animals?
Granimals. What, are you getting a ferry or something?
I'm shooting out there.
This is a beautiful view from Sissy's place. I was hoping to see some of those cranes being moved out to the right of the city, but we haven't. We cannot. Doesn't appear to be able to see Rainier yet, but by the time we get back, hopefully early this evening, we'll be able to. And if time permits, we will return to the Space Needle for some shots up there. We brought the camera up there last night, but we forgot the videotape.
I haven't had a movement since you guys arrived.
What?
There's not been a movement since you guys arrived.
Oh, what movement? What are you talking about?
You got that thing going. You know, the Leon movement. I haven't had a Leon movement since you arrived. Leon's always talk about it.
Kirk Enterprise. Kirk Enterprise.
Let's see, we're going to run into some problems in the sense that I was going to bring a salad.
Yeah. Oh, we can stop and get some.
Should we just do that?
Yeah, good. That's gonna be.
Okay, I have a little housewarming here for a little house hostess here.
For Marianne?
Yeah. You know, I dry flowers, I do all this stuff. This was Heather from her yard, so I made her some potpourri. And then I'm growing cream de mint.
Say, who are these people?
Those are her cousin's kids, and that's Charlotte's children. Smell this. This is cream de mint. And
It's terrible.
I'm growing it. Oh, hey, before we go out the door, I've got to just give me 5 minutes to water.
Yeah, crazy. What else could we show you in Sissy's apartment?
Oh, it's so messy right now.
Well, let's still get some shots. Here's Sissy and Hardy. Here's the young Leon family. These are crystal that comes from the famous crystal factory in
Waterford.
Waterford, correct. This is a brandy canister. Very heavy. I saw this being made. It was an interesting. The blast fires were about 14,000 degrees, which a combination of sand and water and some other ingredient were put together. These were made in Romania, so they aren't quite the superior quality, but they are quite
How long did
good.
it take to get the ovens fired up?
About 6 weeks, wasn't it, to get the ovens to burn at that temperature. This is Grace Kelly picture. This is again some Romanian crystal. I don't know the difference from the star here, the insignia from Rome, Romania. This is a Chinese coin piece. How old's this coin piece? 13th century, a replica, obviously. You need quite a pinball machine to drop that in, too. Little Chinese characters are interesting. A little picture of grandmother. Sculpture of young Max. This is an Irish worry stone. You just gently rub your thumb on it, it takes away all your worries. This is Connemara marble, which is found exclusively in the Gaelic country of northwestern Ireland, and on the Aran Islands as well, which Sissy and I wore back in March, late March. Let's get a picture of her.
Easter, Craig. Easter weekend.
Late March. This is the plants in her windowsill that she's watering. Here's some more of her library collection over here. I'm getting a picture of those plants.
Mm-hmm.
Notice the fine
Show my Shakespearean leather bounds dated back to...
Shakespearean leather bows dating back to the 1860s.
No, Is 1860.
Oh, the fine carved wood, leather, bound. Look at the inlay.
It's too dark, probably.
Maybe we should get back this way. Without the backdrop. How's that?
Mm-hmm.
Very old, very ancient, very lovely. As lovely as our sister. Look at how her fat cheeks just glisten in the sun. Over here is the garden. She has some of her plants on the windowsill. What's this character's name? Flavius Maximus? Flavius Maximus. Here's some more of her ancient books. Sissy collects these books. And she goes to assorted garage rummage sales, estate sales, etc. Follow me. This is Sissy's bedroom. This is a $300 goose down comforter. Very soft, very nice. And here's our breakfast nook. Again, goose down pillows. Lovely spreads on that. Candles. Decorated flowers that she has done herself. Notice the color. Lovely. On her dresser, assorted pictures of her two gay Bob sisters. Picture of Sissy and Mother. An old doll, I remember she had those years and years ago. Very moving picture, all of us, and Tawny Marie. Speaking of Tawny Marie, I don't know if it's a little too dark for you at home, but this is the Tawny Marie Memorial Bedside Garden, complete with the urn, the actual ashes still inside.
Urine.
And next to several religious artifacts, as well as whatever the hell that thing is. She has quite a view, as you can see from outside her bedroom, of brick and mortar. Over here are... Careful that fan.
Gosh dang.
I wish you could smell this assorted potpourri in this vessel and a pestle. A pestle and a vessel and a brew, that is true. Come into here. This is Sissy's bathroom. Let me get the light on here. You'll note Sissy likes to put together these kinds of things. Little design artwork around the cabinet. You have your assorted sorts of drugs and chemicals in there. Here's the bowl, stool. Here's the bathtub. You can see it's fairly standard bathing facilities. And I think that just about does it. We got the kitchen pretty well. Let's just get a good shot of this old gas stove oven. Take a look at this. This is an old gas oven. Probably dates back to the late 1970s.
I'll walk on this side. Wow!
If you don't walk in front of the camera.
Look at who's here. Look who's here. Craig, turn around. Craig, turn around. Look who's here. Put the camera around. Oh, God, no. Another night of these.
for our VCR.
Is it always on? Like, this makes me
You know, I got up in the morning when Craig said this, and I tried it. So, I can't tell you how ugly I was.
So you're just going in, you're not?
Have you been here before?
Oh, lots and lots.
Well, you can be our guide then.
Yeah.
You don't live far.
No, actually, I didn't know.
You should be. I couldn't believe it. I thought, geez, that looks like Marianne.
Well, how could you tell with the hair pulled back and the sunglasses on? Couldn't see enough of me.
I thought you were just kidding to get me turned around.
I wasn't sure if you could know the back way up to the house, and then I was just sitting
I
there
was
doing
going to go back to
nothing.
town because I thought I don't know the back of the
Is this where the smell run?
Smell, not smell. Salmon and trout.
So they're at a higher elevation.
Like Washington, Lake Union, the city, and then here, and then that's. This is your first time here?
Yeah.
Do you like it? I was surprised you
Yep. No. No, I'm fine.
Because they're see, they're stopped up there for the next trip going in. They have to hold up there. I think so.
That's a cute little tug, Craig. You gotta get a shot of that.
You guys are next to the motorboat. Okay, go ahead.
I think so.
Okay, go ahead on your third line here.
Marianne, I don't think the salmon are jumping right now, though.
Like Washington to die. That's where they later enter to die. Fresh water. And Army Corps of Engineers, they'll be fish water and come up.
What do they do then?
Been here about one time when they weren't. What do they what?
What do they do now? Where do they actually go to the...
They go back to Lake Washington to die. That's where they spawn, and then salmon go back to where they were born. So they go out and live their life in the salt water and swim back to fresh water to die and lay their eggs.
What was something out there?
Body of water goes around the city by across the Tower Bridge. You hit the lake downtown called Lake Union. Have you been to Lake Union, Rob? Okay. Well, then from Lake Union, you just go past. Did you go to the university at all? And as it goes past the university, that's when it comes to Lake Washington. It's a monster lake on the other side. Down in that water.
What?
There's Hiram's Road. We're going to have a drink at Hiram's Road. So there's the turning point.
4,000 eggs in a gravel stream bottom. After the eggs are fertilized by the male, the adult are going downstream to the ocean. Along their journey in fresh and salt water, many salmon are eaten by the fish you see now are the survivors. They are all that remain of a generation of hundreds of millions of salmon and trout eggs that were deposited 4 or 5 years ago. Each year, 1/3 of a million of these surviving salmon and trout use the fish ladder. The fish ladder was built in 1976 by the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to replace the original fish ladder built in 1916. The old fish ladder had only 10 steps and a small flow of water through those steps. Today, the fish ladder is more attractive to the fish, mainly because of an increase in attraction water. That's water moving swiftly in a direction opposite the fish's climb. The fish ladder looks more like a staircase than a ladder and has 21 steps, called weirs, each stepping up about 1 foot. These windows show you the 18th step. Here, the fish are passing from salt water to
Fighting each other and
upstream
swimming
migration
against the
chart
current.
to the left of the
That's what I think is
windows.
so amazing when you
For
see
more
them. We have no
information
idea
about
about
the sockeye
how much
salmon
energy that
and the other
must take
fish,
to swim because
see
the
the
water
exhibits along the wall
naturally
behind
wants
you.
to. See,
Or go
the
to
water
the visitor
naturally
center
pushes
on
them
the
back.
other
They're
side
swimming
of the
upstream.
rocks.
Right. But it's really going through them. It's amazing how they come back.
I know their entire, it is just to swan and die. I think it's something. Nature's funny. I don't know. In fact, is there any other animal that goes back to where they were born to die? Assuming these are salmon. Now I have to look at the fish. Trout run through here too. I guess these are probably salmon.
They'll smell though, right?
I don't even know what no smelt is.
They've got little fish like that up in this.
Norwegians eat them,
run
don't they?
Probably.
Like, do they?
Swedes do it.
Swedes do?
That big one down there.
Oh God, look.
Listen to this. You just ignore it. I mean,
You're witnessing the migration of Chinook, coho, and sockeye salmon, an annual occurrence at the Lake Washington Ship Canal fish ladder. From June until November, these anadromous fish pass upstream through the fish ladder on their way to spawning areas and fish hatcheries in the Lake Washington watershed. The salmon you see today are returning by instinct to the same stream or hatchery where they were hatched several years ago. The female salmon may lay as many as 4,000 eggs in a gravel stream bottom. After the eggs are fertilized by the males, the adults will die. After the eggs hatch in the spring, the young fish, called fry, stay in the freshwater stream or hatchery from 3 months to 3 years before going downstream to the ocean. Along their journey in fresh and salt water, many salmon are eaten by other fish and marine animals. Only 1 out of every 1,000 young fish survives